We learned on Saturday that Joe Biden was elected as the nation's 46th president, of course, with Kamala Harris as our vice president elect. Malicia, how are you feeling as we head into this new week and, quite frankly, this new era?
Look, you saw when you first mentioned it, I took a deep breath. I finally feel like I can breathe, Cassie. I do. I feel like, sometimes when you're so used to things being bad, you're afraid to hope for them to get better. But this weekend really showed us that no matter how bad it gets, better is always there. It's always going to come. And I know we still have a lot of work to do. Of course, the numbers show there's still a lot of division. But at the same time, I don't know about you, but I have never seen America so united in a sense. I feel like 2020, we feared for our lives together with the pandemic. We protested. We were angry together when we saw the officer put his knee on George Floyd's neck. And then we voted together. Joe Biden received the most votes for a U.S. presidential candidate ever cast. And now we're all celebrating together. And, I keep hearing the theme when people keep saying, I feel like I can breathe now. And I think, comparing that to the coronavirus, although we are still in that fight, the symbolism there is just extraordinary. How we all feel like we can finally just take a deep breath. We still have a long road ahead of us, but it's at least nice to just bask in the moment right now.
I love that you use the word hope because that's how I felt. I felt very hopeful when I heard Joe Biden's victory speech. And it was such a breath of fresh air to hear someone, give a speech with such grace and elegance and really make me feel hopeful for a better tomorrow, moving onwards and upwards, ready to combat the coronavirus, ready to really work on equality and tackle everything that he has set out, and promised to do. And, that speech, though, it had chills throughout my whole entire body. And in case you missed, President-elect, I got to get used to saying that, President-elect Joe Biden's victory speech Saturday night in Delaware. Take a quick listen.
I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, and to make America respected around the world again, and to unite us here at home. It's the honor of my lifetime that so many millions of Americans have voted for that vision.
Wow. I got chills.
No, I did too. Cassie, one thing that President-elect Joe Biden continues to say, and I think it's really important, is that he's not going to be a president for just the blue states. He's going to be a president for every American. So while some people might feel as if their candidate lost, I don't feel like the people lost. And I think that's very important. But I want to talk about a speech that literally brought tears to my eyes. I was bawling. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris also made a victory speech in this historic making moment, becoming the first woman to become vice president and the first woman of color to become VP as well. She acknowledged this in her address to the country. Take a listen.
And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president. But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities.
Snap.
Melissa, how emotional did that moment make you?
Girl, my friend looked at me. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was bawling. And I think what really got me, first of all, she's a Howard University grad, and I am as well. So, other than the fact that she is an amazing Black woman who is just so inspirational to Black women and Black girls, I looked at it, the effect she has on every single woman and girl. It's not just about color in this situation. And you saw that with the speech when they would pan to the little girls on top of their cars, just looking in awe at Kamala. It brought me to tears. These kids, I mean, they've had to suffer a lot this year due to mistakes largely done by grown-ups. So them having the opportunity to just sit and dream bigger than they possibly ever dreamed before, it really got to me. It did.
I I love that you just noted that she is a Howard University grad, as are you, because Joe Biden is a Syracuse University grad, and
Yes.
so am I. So look at
Oh,
that.
look at us. Look at
I know,
us.
look at that. It's just a weird little coincidence. I just love these good vibes that are going right now. But obviously, it was such a historic moment for Kamala. And, I feel like we got to wear our tennis shoes because we got to watch out for the glass that is now on the floor because she is
Yes.
breaking the glass ceiling. And for the historic moment, I feel like it was not lost on her to make a statement with her fashion choices. So we want to talk a little bit about this pantsuit that she chose to walk out in front of the world in and in style. This is reportedly a Carolina Herrera white pantsuit in which Kamala Harris addressed the nation in for the first time after she was elected vice president-elect. So, it's not even just about the pantsuit here. It is the color, which is white, and it is a nod to the suffragette movement of the early 20th century when women wore white to protest while fighting for the right to vote. So, Malicia, knowing Kamala, this had to have been very intentional, right?
Agree. And we've seen women in politics do it before. Former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton wore white to deliver her acceptance speech for the Democratic nomination in 2016. So people are very well aware of the symbol of white when it comes to this. I want to talk a little bit about Kamala's nieces, and we had a picture of them, so if we can pull that back up. Her great nieces were there with her, and they also wore white. Their mother and New York Times bestselling author Mina Harris shared this photo, and she captioned it Vice President Auntie, which I thought was just super adorable. But there is something else that people are zoning in when it comes to her outfit, Cassie, and that is her blouse. People are talking about this pussy bow blouse because they feel like it's more so of a message, maybe a silent protest against the current president's most hurtful line towards women. What do you think? What do you think about this? Are we digging too deep, or do you think that, hey, she is intentional with what she wears? This could be the case.
To be honest with you, I know there is a lot of speculation about this style choice because if you remember, this is a fashion staple for really the first professional women to enter the workplace. So it could be symbolic of that. But the internet likes to be petty and they like to take things to the next level. And so people are thinking, that it could be like, a silent protest, a little bit of a jab in regards to President Trump's past language towards women. Of course, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to repeat it, but we remember what was heard when he was on a tour bus or on a bus and he made a certain comment where he likes to grab women. And so, yes, this could be symbolic of all of that. But at the end of the day, we don't know for certain, but we do know that it's safe to assume her fashion choices are intentional.
Yeah. Maybe not that intentional. I'm with you. She's worn, the pussy blouse before. That's what they call it. It feels so weird saying that out of my mouth, but she's worn it before. So it could just be something, that's what business professionals do, especially women, when it comes to this industry. So let's get talking about
all around, especially with her music choice too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get into. This is actually one of my favorite topics we're going to discuss. Her walkout song was Work That by Mary J. Blige. It was actually the same song that she walked off the stage with at the Democratic National Convention following her nomination as the first woman of color to be on a major political party's presidential ticket.
You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see I've overcome it. Just because the length of your and they often criticize you for your skin tone. Wanna hold your head high, cause you're a pretty woman. Get your runway stride home and keep it.
Like jamming over here.
You're over there jamming. Well, let's take a look at the lyrics really quick because I think, of course, we keep talking about she's intentional. These lyrics mean so much. They say, quote, just because the length of your hair ain't long and just and they often criticize you for your skin tone, want to hold your head high because you're a pretty woman. Read the book of my life and see I've overcome it. Now, I think that there couldn't have been a more perfect song for Kamala in this winning moment. And the fact that she chose Mary J. Blige, I think, is really significant. And that's why Van Jones, CNN commentator Van Jones, got a lot of slack because he called Mary J. Blige's song Beyonce. But Beyonce is a super safe bet, and she's super universal. And I think that although Mary J. Blige is universal as well, what she symbols as an artist is Black women rising above the struggle. So hats off to Mary. This shows that Kamala is a true fan because this wasn't a major hit for Mary as well. It was more so of a fan favorite. So if you knew her music, you knew this song.
Well, now it's interesting because you mentioned like it wasn't necessarily one of her biggest hits, but according to Billboard, we saw that its digital downloads have jumped by over 5,000%.
Wow.
And it's very interesting because if you take a look at some of the music that we've been hearing over the last few days on social media in regards to the election, a lot of songs are charting again, like Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. Selena Gomez took to social media to share the song in the background. Miley Cyrus also took to her own social media to celebrate the song. And not even just Party in the USA, also NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. I mean, come on. I love the level of pettiness here. Bye, 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 bye. And then lastly, I know I've heard this song in particular, FDT by YG. That has been skyrocketing on the charts after Biden was declared the projected winner. I mean, literally, anytime I went on social media, everyone was playing it. Even Chrissy Teigen and John Legend posted themselves listening to it over the weekend. They also were taking to the streets to celebrate with everyone in Los Angeles, which I thought was so special. All of the celebrities getting out there in the streets with the people celebrating the good news. Also, Jennifer Lawrence, she posted a celebratory video on Twitter. She was a party of one, running through the streets of Boston after Joe Biden won the election. But what was really poignant was, I think, the emotion that we saw from celebrities like Lady Gaga, Lizzo, J-Lo, and Ciara, all very tearful Instagram posts here. And I want to listen to Ciara's in particular because I found it very impactful. Take a listen.
I can't lie, I have cried already. I have cried tears of joy. And this is so exciting for so many reasons because our world has been through so much. And it is time we got out. We let our voices be heard. The most voters in the history of all time. That's when you know America said, we are tired. We want more. We want better.
Oh, that just gives me so many chills because I mean, I'm right there with her.